Welcome back.
Yes, we're back for another episode of Tarot Tales. My name is Heather of Shadow and Shine.
And my name's Kelsey of Soul Light Affirmations.
Yes, and we are so excited to dive into things here with you guys today. We have a very interesting subject, of course, lined up to talk to you guys about today before we get into our card polls and astrology forecasts and all that kind of stuff. So, our topic for today, it's actually a part of a 3-week long series. So this is segment number 1 of a topic we're going to be kind of covering for the next couple of weeks. So it is called Our Sweet Lies, the Keys to Success. Dun, dun, dun. Yes. And today we're going to be getting all into why lies sell. Like what makes them so attractive in the first place. So,
Oh yeah, I think it's gonna be super interesting. It's something we all experience, right? And even if we don't always know or always notice, right? But I think it's gonna be interesting and it could apply to everybody.
absolutely. And also, before we dive into our collective card poll this week, I also wanted to share with you guys really quick the event I'm doing this weekend. So, in case you want to come out, come say hi, hang out, get a reading, I would love to see you. So, this weekend, I'm going to be at the Body Mind Spirit Celebration happening in Colorado Springs, Colorado. This is going to be happening at the Norris Penrose Event Center, located at 1045 Lower Gold Camp Road in Colorado Springs, Colorado. It's going to be happening Friday, April 10th from 1 p.m. to 9 p.m., Saturday, April 11th from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday, April 12th from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. So 3 full days of fun and festivities. Of course, you can come see me, but there's going to be lots of other tarot readers there too, astrologers, mediums, Reiki practitioners, all kinds of stuff going on. You might find a crystal or two that you might want to pick up and bring home as well. So it's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets you can find over at the Body Mind Spirit website, and they are only $10, and they are good for the entire weekend.
Oh, amazing.
Yes. So even if you go on, like, let's say Friday night and you're like, I didn't finish doing everything I wanted to do, you can always come back on Saturday, come back on Sunday, whatever. Your ticket is still good for that $10. So,
$10 for 3 days? Wow.
yeah, like you can
That's
come back every
incredible.
single day if you want to. So yeah, that's the deal for your entry fee. I mean, of course, if you decide to purchase a reading, you still have to pay for that. If you decide to purchase food, you have to pay for that. If you decide to purchase a crystal or something, you have to pay for that. But just to get in, $10 is good for the whole weekend.
That's amazing. How exciting, Heather. I love hearing about your events, and it's always nice to get out there and work with people face to
Yeah.
face.
I will, of course, have all the information in the show notes so you can check out the specifics. Also, the specifics are on my website at shadowandshine.com under the events tab. And I'm going to be at booth number 34. So if you show up and you're like looking at the map and you're like, where is she? Find booth number 34. That's me.
Wonderful. Should be a great weekend.
Yeah, it will. So I'm excited for it. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's what's happening in terms of news and events. Also, hello to Paper is Cool 28. Yes, paper is cool.
We say hello.
Yes.
And we see you.
Yes, we see you there in the chat. We do see you. But we are also recording a live podcast. So as my voice wants to disappear, how appropriate. Like maybe I need another sip of that sweet tea. But we are recording a live podcast here. So this episode is going to go out live to all of your streaming platforms on Friday. So if we're not always looking at the chat, that's why, because we are recording for a whole bunch of different places at the same time, in a sense. But we always do check in. We always will take a look. So We do see you. So hello. Hello. But yeah, so I think that's it for announcements.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. And as for our topic of the day, so I guess now we can get into our weekly card pull.
I think so.
Mm-hmm. Did
Do
you
you
want
know?
to go? You want to go first, Kelsey?
Sure. Do you
Pull
want to? Do
some
you know what deck you're
cards.
gonna use? I'm just thinking.
Well, yeah. I mean, I can go first if you're not ready.
Oh, I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Then bring it. Bring it. Bring
So
it.
what we'll do, as always, we'll check into the energy of the week ahead. We'll pull a few cards. It is a collective reading, so as always, take what resonates. And then I'm going to do a pick a card reading. So we will do that. So let's take a moment, get centered, take a deep breath, and what do we need to know about the week ahead? Let's see, as a collective, what do we need to know? Okay, interesting. Waiting game. And I feel like waiting game is like that big kind of two of wands energy. It's almost like we've been waiting for something to occur, and it's like that wait. I feel like that wait is going to be over this week. I feel like a lot of us are trying to bring something in. Maybe there's some news you're wanting to hear about, but I feel like that waiting game, you've been in it. And now I feel like that energy is moving up, especially with what we got going on in the skies. And Heather will get into that later, but
Yes.
whoa.
And hello
Okay.
to Rant Guy, really quick. See you there in the comments. It's always fun around here. So
Yeah.
shout out to Rant Guy.
Shout out. Welcome, welcome.
Yes.
So, and what I'm getting here is that like we've been building a firm foundation. So we got the number 4, firm foundation. You can see here, well, you can't see if you're listening, but I'll describe. We have a man here with a very strong back and a triangle, and a triangle's base is built to be very strong, right? And then we have this mountain behind him. So it's almost like you've been putting in the work to create a really strong foundation for what it is you want to bring in, whatever you've been waiting for. So I feel like this is something that has been hard earned and something, whoa, it shot out. And it's a juicy one.
Oh boy.
And we got this again. So again, this new beginning card. So we got this last week as
Spring.
well. So
Spring
it's been like
energy.
that spring energy. So what you've been waiting for, maybe it's a new beginning. Maybe it's something you want to bring in, right? But something potent happening. And let's do 1 or 2 more cards. Yeah, the period of like shadow is over. That's what I'm getting here. It's this reversal of the shadow card. So that mystery, I feel like the fog is lifting, and that makes sense with all this Aries energy that's incoming, as we're going to be talking about a lot of planets moving into Aries right now. I feel like that the
moving
fog,
out of Pisces. It
yes,
can
and
be very, very
dreamy.
illusionary, diluted, foggy. So yeah, that makes sense.
So I feel like a lot of us are moving out of shadow or uncertainty and towards something a little more tangible, which is a great. Oh, we got some more highs in the comments.
Yes.
Wonderful.
Hello to Ray Y8P8X. We
Yeah.
see you. Hello and welcome.
Okay. So I got a bunch of cards. So we're going to pull one more. We're going to say, Spirit, one more, please. Woo! Remember this card, Heather? Same one came
the red
forward.
flag.
The red flag card. So it's like you have
Again?
permission.
We're still looking for those? Gosh.
So last week I pulled this card as well, and the red flag. So it is the triumph card, and it is a person racing forward on horseback. And Heather and I both flagged the red flag last week. We were both like, that red flag is sticking out.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a reminder for you. This gives big chariot vibes. So it's almost like be bold, move forward, but be very, very mindful of how you do this, right? It's about taking assertive action, but not weaponizing that action, not weaponizing your words, speaking your truth, but not weaponizing them. Does that make sense? I hope it does. But I feel like we're forging forward. That waiting game is over, but it's important that your mental state, that you stay balanced moving forward, because you are moving towards a new beginning. Yes.
Sorry, you guys.
Foundation.
The Chihuahuas have moved into Aries season.
The Chihuahuas, they know what they want.
Hey, you
And
guys, come on. Oh, God.
just be patient for a little while longer. We got the patience card here. So patience for a little while longer while things sprout and grow. But a new beginning is coming. And there's this, it's built upon a better foundation than you can imagine because of the hard work you all put in as a collective. So now I have a pick a card reading for you now that we know kind of the energy of the week ahead. So this is a message we tapped into our throat chakras here. So throat chakra sits, of course, at the throat, often represented by the color blue. And today we're talking all about truths and speaking the truth, lies, right? And so it's important that we tap into this energy center because if the throat chakra is out of balance or blocked, oftentimes you have difficulty expressing yourself or fear of speaking up, or sometimes you talk too much, right? It just depends, right? It can be out of balance either way. So we have card one, card two. So take a moment and I'll read them out too. So if you're listening to this, pick either card one or card two. One, two, and we'll start with card number one. So card number one, the divine wisdom is words have power. So speak them wisely and from the heart. So, like I said earlier, not weaponizing those words, right? You can speak the
Yes.
truth, but in a way that makes sense and that people can receive it. So, that's your advice. Words have power, so speak them wisely and from the heart. Now, card number two, never deceive another to prevent hurt. Always be
Ooh,
honest.
that's
Always
so appropriate for our topic today. That's creepy.
exactly, right? Messages from, so never deceive another to prevent hurt, always be honest. So,
Yeah.
let me know if you're here and if you're watching, let me know in the comments. And if you're listening on another platform, you can comment on Spotify. But did you pick card one or card two? I'd love to know.
That's good. That's some
Yeah.
really good insight. And it's funny because as you're talking about, the throat chakra and speaking, I'm like, yeah, Chihuahuas have no problem speaking that today.
No, they let you know what they want when they want it.
Oh
When
yes,
someone's walking past, how dare they? How
they're
dare they walk
very,
past?
and they're very honest. Like they
Hmm.
don't, they don't lie. They don't lie.
Hmm.
All right. Let's see what I got here for you guys. I have some messages, of course, from Spring Has Sprung because it is springtime.
Beautiful.
So it only makes sense to use this deck. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we need to know for the upcoming. All right. As something just automatically falls out, we have too many options. Okay, too many options. So we could have a lot of options ahead with something. Let's pull another card. Maybe we'll get some clarity on what the topic is, if it's options and money and love and friends and, whatever it is. Let's see what's going on. What's happening here with too many options? Okay, we have a crystal suggestion. So I feel like this crystal suggestion may help us if we are coming across lots of forks in the road throughout the week and we're having problems making choices because there are too many options. We have moss agate coming in. Yes. So if you have any moss agate laying around at home, it may be a good time to just, pick some up, have some on your being. If you don't have any, maybe check out your local crystal shop, see what they have in stock. But I'll read to you guys what it says on the card because it does share with us information as to how moss agate does actually help us. So, moss agate is connected to the heart and root chakras. It's connected to the element of earth. It encourages peaceful temperaments, aids in emotional balance. It assists in releasing negative karma, and it opens inner communication with self.
Ooh, that's a beautiful one. I love moss agate. It's so peaceful and gentle. It's like a
Yes.
gentle stone.
Mm-hmm.
So heart chakra work going to be important.
Yes, heart and root. So, I mean, which makes sense because it's like if you are finding yourself in a position where you're trying to make a decision on something, number one, it's really important to be grounded and rooted. So you're not like making decisions with like your head in the clouds or, just kind of like up in the air. And of course, with the heart chakra there too, that's important because whatever decision you make, it should be heart centered. It should be following and trusting your heart. not doing something out of obligation or something like that.
Well, and it's funny, I split the deck as you were talking, as you talked about too many choices, and look what choose wisely came up. Very like
Yes.
7 of Cups energy. So I just like, I
Yeah,
felt like I
it
needed to
is.
pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there we were. So it is reinforcing that it's time to come back to center. Come back
Yeah.
to center,
Yeah.
work. Mhm.
That's the only way you're going to be able to make the right decision. And even if you don't make the right decision, it's not the end of the world because, spirit is its own little GPS. It's going to reroute, it'll get you back on track. You're just taking the scenic route. It's not the end of the world. But of course, to ensure you have higher chances of making the right decision, take your time. You don't have to figure it out instantaneously overnight. Just bring yourself back to center. You'll be all good. Let's see if we can get any other information for the upcoming week. Oh, there we go. Muddle through the puddles. We got those challenges. So the puddles could be the choices, the decisions. Life could be just kind of challenging right now as a whole, where it makes it a challenge to even make a decision. Because sometimes when we're burdened down, when we have a lot of stress happening, our cortisol levels are high, it just makes it hard to even make a choice. It's like, I don't even want to. I just want to shut my brain off. I get it. I've been there. um, but yeah, you just have to. It the beginning of April, it's rough. It is energetically, astrologically, it is rough out there right now. We're all holding on to that happy day coming up on April 23rd. Don't know what it is,
Yeah.
but there's supposed to be a very good day happening on April 23rd. But kind of Aries season as a whole, it's going to be rough. And here's probably the main reason why it's going to be rough, because it's only through challenges, adversity, setbacks, all those kinds of things. That's how we become. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Shadow knows all about it. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. He's telling me. Um, it's only through all of that that we truly blossom into our real selves.
Yep.
So
It's all part of that.
blossoming into the real you. I feel like that's the end goal here. So it's just like, yeah, there may be a lot of options, but there is no wrong option when it comes into stepping into who you really are, who you're really meant to be. It's a transformational time. I know we covered this topic a couple weeks ago and we're kind of past this now, but a couple weeks ago we were talking about the gooey period, the period where you are not a caterpillar, you're not a butterfly, you're just melting into that cocoon and you have no body structure at this point. You're like, what am I? I don't know. So life may kind of feel like that over like the next week or so,
Hmm.
but you're
No.
turning into a butterfly. So,
Well, it's all bringing you closer to who you're meant to be.
yes.
Right? And that awareness of what's going on and what you're learning is priceless, really. When you think that awareness of knowing, okay, things happen and I learned this and this and this through it, right? But it does take some time to be out of that to kind of
Yeah.
like reflect, right? So,
I know it's kind of cliche. It's probably not what people want to hear, but I am not here to tell people what they want to hear. I'm here to tell people the truth, which is where we're going to be heading in today's topic, ironically. But before we get into that, I am going to get into our astrology breakdown.
oh, we have timestamps. Perfect.
I need to do that. I was like, oh my God, timestamps. I always think of that as soon as I get into the astrology. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. We got to do a timestamp.
Yep. Catch
Um,
it, catch it, catch it.
All right. The time is 3:24 for my time zone. In the mountains. Mountain time. 3:25. 5:25 East Coast, obviously. Okay. Let me get into my notes here for the astrology. Take a quick sip because it can be a mouthful.
Mhm. Oh, especially, I feel like every week I'm like, gosh, this is a lot, but it's always, there's always something
I
going
know.
on.
There's always something. Okay. So we did talk about this a little bit last week. But it is worth mentioning because it actually happens tomorrow. By the time all the other podcast players get this, it'll actually be yesterday, but it's tomorrow for YouTube as we're recording this right now. So tomorrow, April 9th, Mars does ingress into Aries. So we kind of covered that last week, but just a small recap. When Mars is in Aries, it feels at home. That's where it likes to be. It likes hanging out in Aries. A lot of people can have the concept of it being very much so an aggressive time. Like it can be, violence amplified or something like that, but it really doesn't have to be. It's a time of Yes, it's a time of action, Shadow. Antigua.
Oh, they both going now.
I know. They're so talkative today. We haven't even been live for 30 minutes and they won't. You guys, stop. I don't know. I can't see from here out my window what they're looking at. Hey, can I? Come here. I'm going to hold him while I do this.
Good idea. Hi, Shadow.
Okay. So here's Shadow, and he is wearing his new Scorpio shirt.
That's adorable. It's so sweet.
So,
hi, Shadow. Welcome to the show.
He's a Scorpio, which is maybe why we're getting a little feisty here. He literally got this shirt yesterday when we went to Petco. So he's showing his own zodiac sign pride.
Adorable.
And I hear the faint soothing music from the Furbo from here because it'll play.
They must have been really riled up that it was like time to play some soothing music.
Yeah, it does that. It does that for them if they get a little too crazy. It's just like, calm down, puppies. Here's some soothing music for you.
That's too good.
Yeah. And now I just got the notification. Your dog is feeling better now. Okay, thank you. Yes.
Yes. He's
in my lap. Be. Yes. Okay, anyways, so Mars ingressing into Aries, like I said, April 9th. It has the stereotype of violence, aggression, those kinds of things, but it doesn't have to be. The positive thing is with it feeling so at home in the sign of Aries is it puts us in a position where we're able to take action easily. And that doesn't mean it's violent and aggressive action, but just action in general. Like, let's say we want to take action towards finding a new job or getting out there and finding a partner or starting a business or maybe finding a new place to live, whatever it is, whatever the goal is, whatever the aspiration is. Maybe you want to go to the gym more often. There's an opportunity to do that, to really like easily hone into the energy of action where there's probably not going to be so much resistance or lethargy in a sense around taking action towards things.
Absolutely. Yeah. So it's kind of like directing that energy toward, it's what you direct it towards.
Yeah.
And how you wield that power. As always, you hold the power to, where you put your energy and how you feel about things and how.
Exactly. Yeah. So if you want to direct it towards something positive, productive, life transformative in a good way, you can totally do that. Use it to your benefit. It's a tool.
Absolutely.
So, yeah. And that brings us to April 12th. All right. So April 12th, Sunday, April 12th, we have Mars conjunct Neptune. So this is about spiritual fire meeting raw impulse. It can bring a strong urge to act on a dream, a calling, or a vision. But with Neptune involved, not everything is fully clear yet. Collectively, this energy can feel inspiring, passionate, intuitive, and brave, but also a little foggy, reactive, or idealistic. If people rush you before they really know what you're doing, that could happen. Current astrology coverage around this transit highlights both heightened inspiration and the risk of confusion.
Oh.
So make sure that you're moving through intuition, not illusion.
Again, it's keeping yourself grounded and moving from the
Mm-hmm.
heart, right? Which was discussed in your reading. And
Yes,
that choosing wisely that came up. Yeah.
exactly. So then April 13th, the day after that Monday, we have Venus sextile Jupiter. Venus in Taurus sextile Jupiter in Cancer will bring a soft abundance for the collective. This energy supports love, comfort, emotional security, receiving the good that wants to find you. And it's a beautiful moment for opening your heart, trusting what feels nourishing, and letting yourself believe that ease can be a part of the journey too. So this is a soft day.
I like that.
Yeah. It's like soft girl era day, basically.
Ooh.
So me personally, I'm looking forward to this because this is going to be the day right after body, mind, spirit.
Right.
And God knows I'm going to need to rest.
Oh, it's a lot of energy, just a lot of people you're around throughout the
Yes.
weekend too.
The people, just the time, because it's like an hour and a half to and from the venue for me. So when you're adding drive time plus the time that I'm spending there and everything else, it's going to be a long weekend. It's going to be a worthy weekend. I'm excited for it, but I know I'm just going to want to sleep on,
Exactly.
on Monday. I will come home Sunday night. I probably won't unpack a single thing and just crash. And then who knows when I'll get up on Monday. So
So Monday is for rejuvenation,
yes,
soft girl wake up. So whenever you wake up, you wake up.
exactly. And thankfully these two will allow that to happen. So
Good.
Tinkerbell stays in her crate overnight, so she's okay. And him, he loves sleep. He loves it. So
They do sleep a lot. Like dogs tend to
yeah.
sleep quite a bit anyway.
Yeah,
So
no, he
good.
does. He loves to sleep. I don't have the kind of dogs where they're pawing me in the morning being like, "Take me out, feed me." What I don't have that. If anything, I get ready and then I have to pull him out of bed and say, "Hey, don't you have to go to the bathroom?"
Yeah. Well,
So,
some
I'm
well-behaved puppies. You have some
yes,
well-behaved
I'm
children.
I'm very fortunate in that aspect. But yeah, soft girl or soft guy era on that Monday. So, Mondays notoriously have a bad rep for being a bummer of a day, but not this coming Monday. It's actually going to be pretty easy. Go with the flow. So we love that. Enjoy the energy because there's a lot of other weird stuff going on.
Yep.
All right. So Tuesday, April 14th, we have Mercury ingressing into Aries. So if your communication and your technology, if those kinds of things have been really off track and wackadoodle and foggy, unclear, that's going to change. So communication's about to get very, very clear. We're stepping out of that foggy energy from Pisces. It's giving fast thoughts, fast mouths, bold opinions, and absolutely no patience for beating around the bush. This energy is bold, direct, fiery, and a little impulsive. It's great for confidence and honest conversations, but maybe count to three before hitting send. It's a powerful time for courage and clarity. Just be mindful that honesty doesn't accidentally turn the friendly into fire.
Right. So it's about how you communicate things,
Yes.
right?
So we are probably going to feel a bit more which again, this is so timely with our topic. We are probably going to be feeling a bit more honest starting April 14th when this transit happens. Um, but yeah, be honest, but deliver it with a kind heart. You know, it's like
Exactly. Don't
there's a way.
weaponize your words. Yeah.
Yes, there's a way to deliver with tact, without compromising what it is you're trying to say. And yeah, communication's going to be a lot more clear. So that's a good thing. Also, Shadow.
Shadow having a little snooze, it sounds like.
I think he's ready to be put down.
I
You
think
want,
he's relaxed.
yeah, you want me to put you down by your sister? You want to go sit in the bed with her? She's right down there. Okay. I'm gonna let him sleep in the
Bye,
bed
bye,
next to me.
Shadow.
Okay,
Felt
here
so
you
safe
go.
in your arms.
Yes, he was getting heavy there too, because he was like,
He was just going limp.
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh, dude. Yeah, just relax down there with your sister. Just let's try to be quiet now. Quiet time. Oh man, they're funny. Just wait, Kelsey. Just wait, because soon it's gonna be puppy time.
Yes, yes, I am getting a puppy. I'm excited, but yes, who knows what personality's coming in here?
I know. But
Yeah.
either way, regardless of personality, that puppy's gonna have energy. Just
Yes.
energy. Energy, energy. So if that puppy has something to say, I'm sure we're gonna hear
Oh yeah. We'll
it.
be a special guest on Tarot Tales.
Yes, for sure. Okay, so March also happening on, or not March. Why was I thinking March? Are we going back in time? I don't know. April also happening April 14th. We have Mercury sextile Jupiter. So it's going to be um, sextile Jupiter the second it basically ingresses into Aries. So Mercury in Aries, sextile Jupiter in Cancer feels like bold words with heart behind them. It's a really nice blend of confidence and emotional wisdom where the collective may find it easier to speak up, trust their instincts, and express what it really means to say things in a way that actually connects. This is speak up, but make it in a meaningful energy.
Ooh.
Mercury in Aries wants to say it straight. But Jupiter in Cancer adds warmth, intuition, and emotional depth. So the collective may feel a confidence in sharing what they really feel.
Ooh, I like that. That's very interesting.
Yes.
Because with what's going on in the world, it's important that people speak up for what they feel is right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not just being more vocal, being more confident, being more bold in what you have to say, but you're not going to be talking out of your ass basically. You're going to be speaking from your
From your truth, your with conviction, with
your truth, your conviction, and as Joey Tribbiani once said on Friends, you're going to speak from your large aortic pump.
wow. That's a great way to put it. I forgot about that one.
Yes. Yes, speak
Yeah,
from your large aortic pump.
it's right
So,
here.
yeah, that's where you're going to be speaking. So it's heartfelt, but I feel like that's a good thing because again, Mercury in Aries, depending on that delivery, it can be a little harsh, it can be a little much, a little overdone basically, but if it's coming from your heart, and of course if people understand that it's coming from your heart, then hopefully those messages should be received well.
Right. It's kind of like it's just direct and kind of like no nonsense energy is what I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's almost kind of like let's say for example, let's say you're in a weird romantic situation where you don't know how someone feels about you.
Mhm.
This could be the window where that person may step up and actually say, "Hey, I love you." Like
Ooh.
no beating around the bush, no, "Oh, well, I care for you. I have feelings for you. I like hanging out with you."
Let's not put a label on this.
Right. It's not gonna be it's like it's straight up gonna be stuff like, "I love you. Let's make this exclusive. We're boyfriend, girlfriend, we're getting engaged, we're getting married," whatever the thing is, it's like we're officially doing the thing, whatever it is.
Right.
So if you've been dealing with a situation like that, there's a chance for there to be clarity. Of course, that's on the hopeful side. There could also be clarity on the opposite side too, where that person could say, like, hey, like, I really like hanging out with you, but I don't see a future with you.
That does happen.
Yeah, exactly. So that could be possible too. But if you're in that complicated situation, I am hoping for you that it's the first one and not the latter one.
Put good vibes out there for you all.
Yes.
Good, healthy connections.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And if they do wind up being a total dick who's like, yeah, I don't see a future, you deserve better anyways.
Exactly. I'm with you.
Yeah. Because there's someone out there who does see a future with you, and you are worthy of that. Okay, so April 16th, we have Mercury conjunct Neptune. Mercury's doing a lot of stuff. I've noticed, like, with a lot of these transits this week, it's a lot of Mercury and it's a lot of Mars.
Yes.
They're doing a dance. So Mercury conjunct Neptune in Aries feels like a psychic spark with a megaphone. It's giving fast intuition, bold visions, spiritual downloads, and messages that come in hot, but maybe not always with full instructions attached. This is a powerful energy for trusting what you feel, following creative nudges, and listening to spiritual insight. Just make sure you're not mistaking fantasy for fact. This transit is giving divine download at top speed.
Ooh, divine downloads.
Yeah, this ain't dial-up.
Okay.
This ain't dial-up. That's for sure. The Wi-Fi is on full speed with spirit here. But yeah, definitely check the messages that your antenna is picking up, because Neptune, like, I'm going to give another example. Let's see. If we're talking about downloads and spiritual stuff, you could get a message from spirit dealing with aliens, right? Like, let's say you get a message with that, with like star seeds, aliens. Let's say an Arcturian visits you in the middle of the night and like hangs up above you.
Never heard of
is trying to heal you or something. Yeah. Like, there could be something like that happens, which would be super cool.
That's a story for another podcast, by the way. We'll get into that. But she's speaking from maybe an experience I had.
just maybe. Just a little bit. Yeah. But there's also a difference between, like, I felt like this presence and this healing energy and this being that was there. There's a difference between that and, like, like, they took on full corporeal form in front of me. We sat down, I made it some coffee. And, then we, like, went up into the spaceship. We hung out for a little while. And, there's a, just be careful of how you're picking things up so you don't wind up deluding yourself.
It's that discernment, right?
Yes.
It's knowing the differences in energy and how you feel in the presence of whatever, right?
Yeah. Okay. Exactly. That's just an example, but yeah, but I mean, it could be any spirit. Like, that's just the first spiritual thing that came to my brain. But it could be anything. It could be angels. It could be a message from a loved one who has passed on. It could be a message about, like, loved ones who are currently in your life right now. Like I said, it could be anything. But yeah, either way, pay attention to your intuition. It probably will be right about some things. It's just a matter of, like, what exactly are you deciphering from this? What exactly are you pulling from this? So.
Okay. Very interesting.
Yeah. And then also happening April 16th, we have Mars sextile Pluto. All right. This is the kind of transit that says stop talking about transformation and go and do something about it. Mars in Aries, sextile Pluto in Aquarius, gives the collective bold, empowered energy to make real changes. This transit supports courage, momentum, and taking action from a deeper place of personal power. It's about trusting yourself enough to move differently and letting that choice create transformation. This is a main character power up energy. It's giving, I'm not stuck. I'm just one bold decision away from a breakthrough.
Okay. And when is that?
April 16th.
Good to know. I'll mark my calendar.
April 16th.
April
So
16th.
yeah, like basically if you've been kind of, going in circles, just kind of thinking about it, talking about it, thinking about it, talking about it, thinking about it, talking about it, whatever it is, it's like it's literally like shit or get off the pot.
Right.
That's what we're talking about here. Shit or get off the pot. So it's time to actually do something. If you've been talking forever and a day about starting your own business, this is the energy that's gonna maybe kind of, because Pluto is sometimes it's like forced transformation in a sense. Something could happen. You could lose your job and you could be like forced into saying, okay, it's time for me to get serious and actually start this business now.
Absolutely. No, I kind of like that energy. It's kind of like I think it's important that we make our dreams a reality, right? It's important that we actually take those steps towards
Yes,
crystallizing, right? So um it may be quicker than we think.
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Sometimes it's very much out of our control.
Yeah.
Um, and then finally on April 17th, we're going to have that new moon happening in Aries. So, as always, I know I've kind of talked about the difference between the new moons and the full moons quite a bit, but you never know who's tuning in, and we could have new people tuning in right now who don't know anything about it at all. So, I'm going to let you guys know. Full moons are times of reveal. It's a time to kind of just expose what's happening underneath the hood, I guess you could say. It's a time where manifestations may break through and release and come out. New moons, though, are much like new beginnings. So, new moons are the times, like we have this new moon coming up in Aries on the 17th. That's going to be the time to set your intentions. That's the time to do that. So, whatever intentions you set with this upcoming new moon in Aries, when we have the corresponding full moon in Aries, which will be in Libra season, that's when you're going to see the manifestations, the revealing of the intentions that you set with this new moon right now. And the most effective way to do that is to look at where Aries is sitting in your birth chart and set intentions around that topic of area in your life. So, like for me, for example, I have Aries in my fifth house. So, the fifth house is my children are getting crazy right now. I'm like, she's pouncing on him right now. Um, but the fifth house is about children. It's about dating, romance, creativity, fun. So, any intentions that I want to set with this new moon, it's going to be more impactful for me personally to set it in those areas of life than, say, like money or something like that.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. I think that's something that I wasn't even aware of until a little while ago was to look at the houses in which it's like transiting in your house. Like I think that's amazing that you can kind of tailor your intentions to that
Yeah.
arena in your life. Yeah.
Where is it going to be happening for you, Kelsey?
My 11th house.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So friendships, groups, that
Friendships,
kind of thing.
groups. Yeah,
Hmm.
and it's looking like the full moon in Aries. The exact date is September 27th of
Okay.
2026.
Okay.
So mark your calendar. Yeah, that's when you'll kind of
Yeah,
it'll
that's
be
when
that
we'll see.
reveal.
Yeah, I will say this much. The full moon in Libra we had last week.
Oh,
That kicked my ass. I mean, there was definitely reveal. I feel like it was in ways that I was not expecting it. It was rough though. But me personally, I have a lot of Libra placements, my sun, my moon. I have a whole bunch of things happening in Libra. So, this was like around the time of my lunar return. So it was not pretty.
Yeah.
It was not
Yep.
fun.
Yes. Yeah, those can be intense. Your
Hmm.
learner returns, especially if you have a lot of placements in that sign. Yeah, like anything with Cancer, I'm like, oh, like
Right?
I
It's
got
like
a lot
when
of Cancer placements, a lot. So yeah,
yeah, that it can be ouchy for sure. And that was because that was a lunar return on a full moon. And I don't have like a lunar return that is a full moon every month.
yeah,
So that's why it's just like, oh, exactly,
exactly.
exactly. Exactly, Shadow. He's like, yeah, mom. Oh my gosh. Um, so yes, so if you're hanging out here with us in the chat or you're listening on one of the podcast players, let us know what house is Aries in for you. So what area of life do you feel that you're going to be setting intentions around with that Aries new moon on the 17th? We'll have to see what happens, but that is our astrology forecast for the upcoming week.
It's fiery. It's
It is.
fiery. It's bold.
That's
Um,
Aries for you.
yep. Thank you for that, Heather. I always learn so much. I sometimes write down what you're saying too, because I'm like, ooh, I want to know. I want to make sure. I do my own research, but I like hearing what you have to say. I think it's super interesting. So thank
Yeah,
you.
there's always something interesting going
Always
on.
something.
Always something happening in the sky.
Yeah, always. Hey, you got our timestamp?
Just getting into that right now.
Perfect.
3:52 p.m. Mountain Time.
Wonderful.
5:52 East Coast. All
Um,
right. So now we're ready to get into our cosmic check-in.
Wonderful. Okay, so before we delve into our spiritual topic, which Heather kind of previewed at the beginning, we'd love to check in with you. So, um, like I said, we're kind of delving into episode 1 of 3 series where we ask if sweet lies are the keys to success. And today we're talking about what sweet lies work in the first place. So for those of you listening, whether you're on YouTube watching us live or if you're listening to us on your car ride, on your walk, whatever it is, I'd like you to think about this question. Answer it honestly if you can. Ready? Have you ever pretended to be something you're not for personal gain?
Ooh.
Oh, hello, Ron.
Ooh.
Great timing.
Yes, hello, and feel free to chime in on the cosmic check-in if you
I
like.
put it in the chat. Have you
Ooh.
ever pretended to be something you're not for personal gain? There's the
Yes.
question. So,
Ooh.
ooh, I feel like we've all
Oh,
done this in some capacity. We've all done
yeah,
this.
yeah. Even if we're not consciously aware of it when we're doing it, we've
Yeah.
we've all done it at some point. Some people are consciously aware of it, and those people scare me.
See, I'm a terrible like I'm not a good liar. I'm not good at pretending. Like so
Yeah,
anything like but like I've still done it. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
so do you have a story or like what do you think?
It's funny. Like I was reflecting on this question earlier in the week, trying to think of like a specific example or a specific story. And I honestly struggled with it so much, not because it hasn't happened, but because that's not the way that I typically move through the world. Um, like I have a really hard time masking. I have a really hard time pretending
Me
and
too.
everything. So that's why I'm like, oh, this is so hard. Like, how have I done this? So the only thing I can think of, and this isn't really a specific example, this is just more so I feel like probably the way that I used to carry myself through the world when I was younger, especially as like a kid, a teenager, a young adult. It's like everybody wants to be accepted, right? Everyone wants to have friends, they want to fit in, like when you're in school you want to be a part of the in crowd, the popular crowd, whatever it is. And it's like sometimes you'll just like smile and nod and agree with things even if you don't really care, you don't really like it. And I can think of so many times when I was younger that that's what I would do, where it's like I would just go with the flow of what the crowd was doing, even if I really didn't like it or I really didn't care about it. But it was because my personal gain was I just want to be accepted.
Mm.
I don't want to be an outcast.
I think all of us
So,
can relate to that. Like for
yeah.
sure, we've all gone along with something. Um, it's funny you bring that up because one of my good friends from childhood, her and I are talking. We've been connecting, and she said to me, "Kelsey, I always remember we'd be doing something we shouldn't be, all of us." And she's like, "And you'd be the one saying, 'You guys, I'm just gonna say we shouldn't be doing this,' and then we'd still go do it anyway." So I had this conscience. I was like, oh.
Right.
And then, but I was like, let's do it anyway, I guess. Like, to be,
Yeah.
you guys, I just want to say we should not be doing this. So I knew.
Right.
But then I'd be like, okay, you want to do it? Let's do it.
Hey, that's okay. At least you like you were the conscience of the group. It's like you had your uh the group mom moment of the group. You were just like, I'm gonna have my mom moment here of the group, and we just like, okay, this is wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done being mom now. Let's all go be
I'm
bad.
like, we know this is wrong, right? Like that. I just wanted to check in, like a moral check in. Like we know this
Yes.
is not okay, right? Okay,
Right.
we're doing it anyway. Cool, let's go. Like,
Yeah.
but at least I felt better because I said it.
Hey, that's good though. I mean, at least you were aware. You were aware. I mean, I was aware too, but I didn't do that. I didn't say it though, you know? Like again, I've got all these Libra placements in here. It's like there's that people pleaser. I mean, that, in the past was way too much like just like me, just love me, just like me, please.
Course. And we're all built differently. That's what I find so funny is like we're all built differently. We've all struggled in
Yeah.
some aspect of our lives, right? Of like wanting to fit in, but then that shows up in different ways, right? Because I still went along and did the stuff. Like, it's not
Yeah.
like I was like, oh, it stops here. And I, like, no, I was like, okay, we're doing it. All right. So, but Ron says not something in answering our question that not
Yeah.
something I'm not but exaggerated at times.
Okay.
I think I can
Yeah.
relate to that. Like
Yeah.
that's my story kind of relates to that.
That makes sense.
Yeah, but I feel like in any job interview, you kind of have to emphasize and
Oh,
exaggerate who you are a
yeah.
little bit.
Yeah, because they want to hear certain things. It's like, oh, why do you want this job? And they want to hear, I'm passionate about emails and spreadsheets. I'm passionate about calling total strangers that I don't care about. And yeah, like I'm all those things. They don't want to hear the truth, which is I like paying my rent.
I need to eat. Yeah,
Right.
right. But like I said, I'm not really good at pretending. Um, I'm really like not good at lying either. Like it's like
Mhm.
something like even like if it like it's just not something that sits well in my stomach. Like I feel really bad ever like even exaggerating still bothers me. So
Yeah.
it was hard for me to think of something too, to be honest. I was like, but I did think of something because we've all had moments. I've had moments where I leaned into like a version of myself that felt more certain or
Mhm.
polished. I think that's pretty normal.
Yeah.
Especially when I wanted something to work out, right? And I think that's normal, especially a job interview. Like it wasn't about being fake, but it was emphasizing something so it would land better or like my first uh my first interview going into education. um I didn't plan on this, but I somehow told them I'd always dreamed to be a teacher. That was not true. Like it was like no, I had not always dreamed of it, but the pathway led me here and I am here. So, but like somehow it wasn't necessarily a lie, but it's not something I like definitely dreamed of. I thought about it.
Right.
It's not that I
Well,
always wanted to be.
well,
I thought about the possibility.
that's what I think of with like super, like I don't know, like super officey kind of jobs, like the job titles. I'm like, no one actually sits there and say, "Oh yes, ever since I was a little girl, when I was 5 years old, I wanted to be a data analyst so bad.
I just love data. Well, some people do, right? But you and I are not those type of people, Heather.
No, we're
Right?
not.
But if you love
Honestly,
data, good for you, right? But
right. No,
as long
no
as it's
shame
true to
on,
you.
yeah, no shame on data analysts or anything like that. Like, everyone has their thing. I don't personally feel like those people are probably the ones who are listening to us. I don't feel like we're their market necessarily, but hey, anything's possible. Either way,
Yeah, maybe, right? But
everyone's welcome.
yeah, like I think why I did it is because I thought it would make me seem like a better candidate, right? Of
Yeah.
course. Like the
Yeah.
truth is I never known what I wanted to do for a job. Like nothing really felt like it clicked, but I knew I had the skills and the education to be a good teacher. Like I knew I could figure it out and I knew I would figure it out. Um but why it worked is cuz it gave the impression that I was kind of made for the job, right? It made them feel certain about my abilities.
Yeah.
It was easier for them to receive than to me, me to say, I don't really know what I want to do, but I'm here. There was a job opening, right?
Like,
But
I know I'm good at this.
yeah,
So, and you know what? That shouldn't be a wrong answer, because if you're
no,
able to say, "Hey, I'm good at this. I'm skilled, I'm qualified, I have the knowledge, I have the talent."
yes.
That shouldn't be poo-pooed on.
And I didn't pretend to be something I wasn't. I just emphasized something that maybe I fibbed a little bit that it was,
Yeah.
but that's okay. Like it wasn't malicious. It was adapted for the situation, and I had the education, the credentials to back it up. Right. So,
Yeah.
Ron chimed in here. He said, "Because if you pretend, it might come back at you later." Yes,
That's true.
that's why my
Yeah.
stomach hurts when I tell something that's not true.
Mhm.
I'm always afraid, like, ooh, like, is it going to come back to bite me, or is someone going like I said, like I always think honesty is best policy, but to a fault sometimes. Like, but yeah, I guess like it is kind of interesting how we all do this, or we've all kind of
Yeah.
experienced it in some way.
Exactly. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
well, I guess with that being said, we should probably get into the
Delve
nitty-gritty
into
here
it.
about, yeah, our sweet lies, the keys to success, and
Mm.
why do lies sell? So I'm gonna put down the timestamp so I don't forget once again. Like, timestamp, we're officially turning the hour here, so that's good. Um Anyways, as we're diving into this topic, I figured I would enter this topic mentioning where this topic came from, like how we got to planning this topic. So, a few weeks ago, and this was before the explosive full moon, because that was last week, and that was its own doozy, its own thing. But a couple weeks ago, um, my mom and I were having a conversation, and obviously, like, doing what it is that I do, and doing what Kelsey does too, but what the both of us do, we are creators. We have this podcast. We work in a creative woo woo kind of field doing readings. I create my own oracle decks. I make music. I do these events. I work for myself, all those different things. So, to say, is it steady income? Absolutely not. There are peaks and there are valleys. There are highs and there are lows. Um, but my mom and I were having a income related conversation on it. And a lot of the times you can go online and you can find any live even outside of this one, where you can find a tarot reader sitting there, and they could have, like, way more people sitting on their live than like what we have here sitting here right now, and they'll be able to maintain like all these people in there. And someone could come along and they may ask a question like, is he coming back? And the tarot reader, they'll pull a card. It'll be the Three of Swords. Now, we all know like those of us who know what these cards mean, obviously, the Three of Swords is not good news. It's heartbreak, heartache. It's yeah, that would be an answer to that specific question. That would be a no. He's not coming back. But you have tarot readers out there who compromise the truth, and they'll say something like, "Oh yeah, he's coming back. 3 of swords, card of heartbreak, but yet he's coming back." And because people don't know any better, they'll eat it up. They'll just take whatever it is that that person is saying at face value. And a lot of these people will say it because they know telling people what they want to hear sells. Not because it's ethical, not because it's truthful, not because it's helpful, not because it's any of those things, but because it's only helpful to them, the person sitting behind the screen and pulling in the viewers and pulling in the money, so on and so forth. And I told my mom, I'm like, I think one of the reasons why I struggle so much with my business is because I don't do that. I don't. If the 3 of swords comes up, I'm going to tell you, yeah, this is sucky energy. This is not fun. Now, granted, I'll probably pull another card after that to kind of see, like, okay, how can we move on from this energy? How are things going to get better? It may not be better in that relationship, but how are we going to get past this? How are we going to heal from this? Um, I'll probably do that, but I'm not going to sit there and tell you someone's coming back who's definitely not going to be coming back out of that answer. But that's not the popular answer. And sometimes when you don't say the popular thing, it doesn't sell and people don't come to you. And it got this whole conversation going between me and my mom about how people who lie ultimately, it's at least seemingly seems to get instantaneous success. And that if you're truthful and you're honest, success can be a lot slower.
Mm.
And this conversation is good not just when it comes to doing readings, but you know, even if you work a regular 9 to 5 job, like we were saying with job applications and that kind of thing, it applies with that. It applies with friendships, relationships, romantically, relationships within your family. Um, there are so many ways that we compromise ourselves and we tell people what they want to hear for whatever that benefit is.
Yeah. And I think it's, yeah, it's such a, I remember you talking to me about your mom about this conversation. And it sounded like it was quite, it's layered, right? And
Mm-hmm.
it's true. And like, I guess like when we define a sweet lie, would it be like a message or a statement or a belief that kind of feels good in the moment, but isn't maybe fully true or
Yeah.
supportive long term? That's kind of what we're discussing as a sweet
Mm-hmm.
lie. So maybe softened, maybe incomplete, or maybe, you know, comfort rather than reality sometimes.
Yeah. Just hear from my notes on what we have for today. Sweet lies often work because they give people immediate emotional relief.
Mm,
Like the instance with that tarot reader. That person is so desperate to have the confirmation that that person is coming back. They're looking for emotional relief of some outside source, outside force of telling them, "Oh yeah, that person is coming back." The ultimate goal here is the person asking that question is they want to soothe discomfort. They want fantasies validated. They want to remove the friction there. So, on the other hand, truth, it asks people to grieve
mhm.
because if that person isn't coming back, you may have to grieve that relationship. You may have to realize it's actually over. You may have to realize that you have to grow, that you have to let go, that you have to take accountability, that you have to face uncertainties. And
Absolutely.
that's a lot more uncomfortable to sit with than a fantasy.
Absolutely. And I think a lot of people do want the truth, right? They do. And it's sometimes it's about what you can hold in that moment too as well, right? And I think I agree. I think that if you're outsourcing your intuition, if you're hoping for one answer consistently and asking someone, oh, and then going from reader to reader, asking for questions, right? Yeah, like it can be really, um, it's a lot more work to lean into the truth and to accept the truth. Like, yeah, I remember having a tarot reading in the middle of my Saturn return. And do you know what he
Good
told me?
times, good times.
He told he said, "You know what? You like being miserable." I was like, "Oh, oh, oof." But you know what? As a person, like, and I was like, "Do I?" But I think there was layers to that truth, right? I
Right,
do think,
yeah.
but I was not in a good place, right?
Mhm.
But that was really hard to stomach, right? And it came out a little bit brash, but like, it's funny
It
how,
was it was kinda highlighting, like, "Kelsey, the reason you're miserable is because of you."
yes. And then, but that was a hard truth to swallow, right? It
Yeah,
can feel good in the moment, but as somebody who reads tarot and understands reading, like I was able to go, okay, take it and think about it, right? Think
right.
about it later. Don't
Yeah.
take it to heart yet, but think about what he said later and unpack it later. But not everyone, I think, but like, because like I know I've had amazing clients, I've worked with people like you. I know people want the truth. It's just finding, like, it's like, finding a way. Ooh, oh, hello.
Shadow and Tinkerbell are going to tell the truth.
Yeah,
They're just disposing it, dropping it everywhere. Hey,
yeah.
you're fine. Your food was already delivered. It was delivered before we got on, which is good. Like, I took them outside and there was a big Target box sitting there with their food.
Their
So,
food.
yes, we're good on food. We're having food shortages and I don't know why. Uh I mean, I know why, but I'm saying, like, I was not expecting it to impact their food.
Exactly. Yes.
So, like, I was expecting it to impact my food, not theirs.
Yeah, right. It's not something you'd think of.
No,
Um,
definitely not.
I'm glad they have their food though. You're a good mom.
Yes, they're set. They're good. Um, but yeah, like, on the note of people wanting the truth, I kind of agree with that, and then I kind of don't. I feel like that there are people out there who do want the truth, and that even the people who do want the truth, they, like you said, they may only be able to receive a certain amount of that in certain dosages. It probably also depends on how that truth is being delivered as well, because delivery, kind of like what we were talking about with Mercury earlier, it does depend on how you say it. Um, but I also believe there's another group of people who say they want the truth, but they really don't. That they're really not ready for it. That they're not in that place.
I think so too. I think it's a range. I think there
Yeah.
are people who do want the truth and are ready to receive it. There's people, like, that are and it kind of depends what they're asking too, right?
Yeah.
It kind of depends on what the subject is. And then there's people who say they do and don't really, like, they want maybe
Yeah.
one answer, right? So I'm with you there. I think there is a full range of like people are in the world, right? And I guess we're not speaking in absolutes. I think that's what's
No.
important. Yeah.
No, definitely not. Um yeah, people don't always want the truth first. They usually want comfort first. So it's kind of like, if you're looking at, like, even just like the spiritual journey, it's like, if you are newly awakened and you're like a newborn baby, basically, you can't handle eating a steak dinner. You're gonna need like a little bottle of milk or formula or whatever. That's really all you can handle. You might be able to handle some squishy baby food or whatever, but you can't be biting into no apples or anything at that point in time. So if that apple or that steak, for example, is the truth, you are not ready for that. You
Hmm.
you need the comfort and the nourishment that that milk or whatever may be able to give you. But as
Right.
you grow in maturity in your spiritual life, in your walk of faith in many aspects, then you can get to the point of like, okay, I'm ready to take a bite out of that apple. I'm ready to really chew through this steak of truth.
I like that analogy because sometimes I've been presented things and, whether through a reading or through, whatever, or I have like a kind of a download, and the truth comes in waves to me. And I'm not quite ready sometimes, or, I haven't been ready in the past, but now I'm like, there's like layers of understanding that come through as I
Yeah.
move through my journey. Right. And more stuff is revealed and I'm ready to take on more. So I think, yeah, it's super interesting, and I like the analogy of what people are ready for. Right? If you're a baby, it's going to be different than when you've matured. Right?
Yeah,
Very cool.
exactly. It is. It's
Yeah.
it's very different. And I
Yeah.
feel like the fact that people ultimately want comfort first and foremost, and comfort's important at any stage, whether you have been awakened for a long time or not. We all want to feel safe. We all want to feel comfort and secure. So I feel like that's really important, especially if you are a practitioner who is telling people the truth. It's so incredibly important to deliver that in a way that is coming from comfort.
Mhm. Well, even when like managers, for example, when they're giving feedback, there's like, what is it, the sandwich method? It's like lead with something positive, then you give the feedback that might be a little hard to stomach, and then again close with something positive, right? So it even happens in that comfort
Yeah,
is
that
what
makes sense.
it kind of we seek it across, like it's not just in tarot readings, it's in society, it's in jobs, it's in receiving feedback, relationships, all of that, right?
Yeah.
It's very human. So I think we've all sought comfort before. We've all sought validation, right? And we've all wanted to kind of avoid friction or uncertainty, and uncertainty
Yeah.
can be really hard to sit in. So it's human, right? But
Mhm.
it's also important to discuss it as well.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, I feel like, when it comes to lies, lies are they're more marketable. They're easier to consume because they are feeding into that comfort aspect. Um, but I mean, but you got to be careful. It's like, once again, you can still deliver a truth, kind of like what you were saying with that manager example of, you can still deliver the truth, but you can do it in a loving and comforting way. The annoying thing is when people just have no conscious whatsoever of things, and they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm just going to run rampant and tell you whatever you want," because they don't care about you. They're not looking out for you. They're looking out for themselves and how they benefit from lying to you.
Yeah, absolutely. If and yeah, I think that that's important distinction to make. There are people who are looking to just make a quick buck. There are people looking to make money, and there's not the ethics maybe aren't quite um maybe up to snuff, right? I
And it
think
doesn't even
that's
have to be money either. I mean, that could be business, that could be a tarot reading or whatever, but that could be relationships too.
yeah.
Like, it could, like the tired old example of, like, the guy who lies to you to get in your pants scenario. Like, that happens a lot. Oh, Karma Kyle, why
Yeah.
doesn't he come out right now? You're the only one for me, baby.
Yeah, exactly, right? The
I
sweet
love
little
you.
lies.
Yeah, it's
So it's
like,
not even, you're right, it's not even just about making money. It's like about
yeah,
getting ahead. Getting
yeah.
ahead or getting like gaining control of something
Getting
or
whatever you want. And in that
yeah,
case, is the guy getting money from you? No, but he wants your body, for example. That's the payout for him.
yeah.
And then when he's done, it's like, oh, poof, never hear from him again, even though, he said all these beautiful things. So it can happen in a lot of different ways. It could be the friend. It could be a friend who says, like, oh, you're my best friend. I'm always going to be there for you. I'm always going to be supportive to you. We're going to hang out, blah, 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 blah. And then let's say you're there for them and you help them through a really challenging time, a really hard time. And then the tables flip, and now you're the one going through a hard time, and when you call them or text them, they are nowhere to be found.
Exactly. So that exchange isn't there, that reciprocity isn't
Mhm.
there. The words were hollow, maybe, right?
Yeah.
Ron has chipped in. He says some don't want to hear the truth because it means they need to do some work on
Yeah,
themselves. Yep,
that's true.
absolutely. It's true. It's um support, like it's yeah, it's often like a slower go, slower growth when you build honestly and slowly. And I agree. I think it's a lot easier sometimes to how do we put it, but like accept the comfort rather than look at the reality. I think that's
Yeah,
sometimes what happens, right?
exactly. Fantasy can be emotionally addictive. And I mean, one area that I've definitely seen this happen a lot in is the twin flame community.
Yeah, I could see that for sure.
They are notorious for it. I'm not saying twin flames aren't real or they don't exist or any of those things. However, I don't believe that the end of the story is you ride off into the sunset together happily ever after.
Yeah, and it doesn't apply to every, like it's different for everybody, right? And
Yeah.
there's a journey and there's nuance, and it doesn't have to be one way, right? Like
No.
that's the thing.
No, it doesn't. And,
Yeah.
of course, there are the twin flame couples who do wind up together. I know those people exist, but I also know that that is a very small percentage, and that for most people, that journey is about it's not about the other person, it's about falling in love with yourself. It's about having your own boundaries and your own standards and rising above and becoming the best you that you could ever be.
I think
That's
so
the
too.
real love is you.
I love that. Like I love that because it's you, ultimately you have to live with, that you have to love the most in this lifetime.
Yeah.
It's like, honestly, it's super important.
And, like, I don't know, maybe because I personally have evolved so much from that world since then, but it's like I still have some friends on Facebook who are still in that world. And every once in a while, I'll see someone do a post and they'll be like, "Oh, I'm doing a twin flame." Like, it'll be a reader and it'll be like, "Oh, I'm doing like a twin flame reading, send money to my PayPal or whatever it is. Here's the amount. And we're going to check in on your person and see what's happening with them." And I'm like, how does this actually help the person who's going through stuff though?
Yeah, exactly, right.
Like, how does that actually help?
Well, yeah, I
It
feel like,
feeds it feeds into that fantasy, like I said.
well, and I feel like personally, I like to keep it about the person in front of me and
Yes.
their growth, their
Yes.
evolution, how they're doing, rather than worrying about outside of themselves, right? Like that, I think that that's important, is that growth, that evolution. And I'm like, and I know that's exactly what you're saying. It's like, okay, it's about focusing on that and the relationship with yourself. And
Right.
I feel like you're speaking that from experience too, right? And you have a twin flame deck. Like you have like a love story,
Yeah,
right?
it's called Love Story. I mean, it can be used for twin flames. It can be used for anything of romance, obviously. Like, it could be soulmate,
Yeah.
twin flame. Even if you're as single as a Pringle and you're just like, hey, like what's the energy of the person coming towards me in the future? You can use it for that too. So, I mean, it's really for any of that, but a lot of people do use it for twin flames. I created it out of my own twin flame journey. Um, but yeah, so it's such a fantasy thing. I get it. People want to feel love, they want to feel connection, they want to feel a genuine partnership with someone. I am not poo-pooing any of that. I am all for that. But sometimes that person is just not going to be on the same level as you, and you're better off on your own rather than in it, especially if it turns really toxic and abusive. That was not my situation, but I know that that can happen in other people's situations, and I've heard it in other people's situations. And if someone is coming to me saying, "Oh, my twin flame beats me," I'm sorry, but you should, like, no, we're not gonna glorify that into some kind of fantasy.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's everyone, like, as we've talked about this last episode too, people want to feel seen and heard and appreciated and loved. And wanting companionship is totally fine. That's normal.
Yeah,
Wanting to
yes.
be, but you deserve, if you're listening, oh, ding ding. If you're listening, you deserve
That was my other phone, but yes, ding ding, it's the angels too.
you deserve a healthy, loving, stable, respectful connection. Like you deserve that. So
Yes,
and sometimes, we have those connections that can be not so great, right? And it's about leaning into what is good for you and leaning into your own evolution. I think at the end of the day, right?
definitely. And I know a lot of the times, like in the twin flame community, people will be just like, I don't even want a soulmate. I just want my twin flame and nobody else. And I used to be one of those people too. But since then, I have grown and I've evolved, and I don't live in the fantasy of that anymore. And like, honestly, if some weird miracle happened and my twin flame, like, I don't know, like, if this was like a different planet, different timeline or something, that would be very interesting. And, fine, then we could entertain that if there was some major evolvement on his end. But I don't expect that, anticipate that, or anything like that in this lifetime. I wish him nothing but the best. I hope he figures out what he needs to figure out. But because of that, it's just like, you know what? I am open to a soulmate. Like, people in that community don't value what a soulmate really is because it's a healthy connection. It's a healthy connection. Why is that a bad thing?
Yeah, like how I view it is um I think that you should be open. Like I think like having an I like being like having a one track mind is not healthy in a lot of respects.
No.
I think being open to meeting people, being open to opening your heart to others and not focusing on one specific person, one specific job, one
Yeah.
specific outcome.
I was
I
about to
think
say that's applicable in other areas of life
yeah,
too. It's like anything that's exterior dependent. Like, you could be dependent on, I have to have this certain job, I have to have this certain kind of income, I have to have this certain house, this certain car, whatever it is.
yeah, absolutely. But being opening your heart to the possibilities is such a beautiful thing, right? And if you're focused on one thing, you have a one track mind, it can be really hard to pick up on other things or other
Yeah.
opportunities, right? So it's like, yeah, like I can understand a little bit. I never really was a part of that community, but I have my own experiences with relationships that
Yeah.
very much mirror kind of what like the twin flame connection and the soulmate connection. So I have that experience, and a lot of us do, right? It's just,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, that community, it is interesting.
yeah,
Um Aside from the fantasy of it, the thing is like, especially when it comes to someone either embellishing or even straight up lying to you about something, is and especially in readings specifically, is if someone is able to bring you a definite yes or no to your question, a definite date on when something is going to happen or whatever it is, there's a certain confidence that comes with that and a certain kind of certainty. And when people are going through times of uncertainty where there's not clarity and there's discomfort, that's what they're seeking. They're seeking clarity. They're seeking certainty and comfort. And that's why those things do sell. And it's a lot harder to sell, like, here are the possibilities of what could happen, like the possibilities multiple, kind of like what you were saying of, oh, you just got to be open. People don't want to hear open though when they have their heart set
they want
on,
certainty.
yes,
1000%. A lot of people do want certainty, depending on what you're talking about, because it stabilizes your internal discomfort.
yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
I've been in the uncertain, the void, and it's not easy. I'll admit
No,
that. Like,
it's not.
absolutely. And we do want certainty. And I think I've been guilty of that too, of outsourcing my intuition and asking people, what's happening? What's happening? When's this gonna happen? Right? I've done it. I think we all have in some capacity. Wanting certainty, right? But yeah, it does sell. You're
Yeah.
correct.
It does. I mean, of course I
Mhm.
can understand how that would
Yeah.
sell. Like like I want to help people as best as I can, but if the energy, like let's say Neptune is hanging out up there or something doing something, which Neptune enjoys being foggy as it is. Um
Yes.
Neptune's like, "Oh, let me create some delusions for you." um but yeah, if the energy is foggy and whether it's my intuition or the cards or the astrology, if it's all coming out foggy, I'm, at least for me personally, I'm not the kind of person who can sit there and be just like, "Oh, I'm just going to tell them a lie and tell them, "Oh yeah, this is all fine. This is all good." When even I really don't know cuz it's very muddled. One example, oh, this is a really good example of this actually. Kind of when it comes to astrology specifically. So, um when it came to the election in 2024, there was a lot of murky energy that was going on. And if you guys are familiar with Lori Rivers at all, and her podcast with the Awake Space, um, she wasn't thrilled with making the declaration that she did, but she did say that she saw that Kamala had the more favorable transits for winning the election as opposed to Trump. Now, obviously, we all know Trump won, and she has taken a lot of heat for basically declaring an inaccurate read. It's not so much that she was inaccurate. It was the fact that there was a lot of muddled, mucky, yucky, foggy transits and energy happening. It was hard to read through that. So if people are looking for certainties on who's going to be president, and while you can read energy, that's good, but it's hard to read through murky energy, you're stuck between a rock and a hard place.
Have you ever experienced kind of have you ever had it where you've had a client and you haven't been able to kind of tune in properly? Have you ever experienced that?
Yes,
Me
definitely.
too.
Yeah,
Me
definitely.
too.
Part of that can
Mm.
be the client as well, because if you are coming to a reading, like ideally your energy should be open enough. But if your energy, if you're putting up a wall, if you're putting up an energetic boundary, like we can't really help you then.
Yeah.
Like you have to come vulnerable. You have to come with your walls down so we can work with you. We're not there to work against you. We're there to work with you, but we can't do that if you're putting up a protective shield.
And yeah, some people might not even be aware they're doing it, right?
Mhm.
It might be something that's just, it's just a habit. It's something that comes up, or maybe you've never gotten a reading before, right? But
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
does happen. I have had it happen where I'm like, okay, we'll have to reschedule this, or, hey, this is like, I can't quite get a read. And so it does happen where that energy is murky. And then, but why, I would never misrepresent that, right? Like I would
No.
never like that's just
No.
something I wouldn't do.
Me neither.
Is like be like, hey, I think or this is I'd say, hey, we need to reset or we need to do this, right? Yeah, so but it's interesting, right? And I think that's better than telling somebody a lie or lying about something or making
Yeah.
up things as you go.
And that's the thing, especially when it comes to anything spiritual, there is a lot of nuance.
Hmm.
And even if you are not putting up that protective guard, and even if the energy astrologically or whatever isn't terribly murky, um, you know, there's several different things at play here. Number one, if the situation that's being asked about involves other people always have free will.
Hmm.
So, what's a yes today could be a no tomorrow. or vice versa. Also, in addition to that, you're a co-creator with the universe. And not everyone is going to be thrilled to hear that, but it's true. If you're a co-creator with the universe, that means you get a say. You get a say in how your life turns out, in the life that you want to design for yourself, whether it's in your personal life or your career or anywhere else. And that means then it's like, yeah, we can pull all the different cards, we can look at all the different transits and all the different things, but at the end of the day, if what we're saying doesn't align for you, you always have the power to let's say you go into a reading and somebody tells you like, oh, love, you're looking for love. Love isn't on the table for you for the next 5 years. Let's say they tell you that. And you would really like to have romance come into your life sooner than that. Don't let that predetermine everything for you and you're like, "Oh, well, that's it. I guess I have to wait 5 years." No, you don't. Maybe try and understand with yourself, if that kind of energy is happening, is there something within me that I need to work on that is making it appear to be 5 years? If there is, work on that. And then remember you're a co-creator with the universe and say, "Hey, if I want to find love sooner than that, I still can. Nothing is set in stone. I still get a say here."
Yeah, 1000%. I like how you're empowering people, right? And reminding them that they get a say in what they do.
Yeah.
And, you know, tarot readings like are a snapshot in time. That's like, it's not
It
like
reads energy.
it reads,
It's not predeterministic. A lot of people look at it as like, "Oh, it's fortune telling." It's
no.
it's energy telling is what it is. It's
And energy
energy telling.
shifts, energy changes, people change their minds. Like you said, they have free will. Like it could be, it's a snapshot in time. And
Mhm.
you have the power to shift things for the better or, maybe further away from your goals, depending, right? And I think people, I know like a lot of people put a lot of stake in what, readers say and psychics say, and they
Yeah.
might say, oh,
Yeah.
but this is my future. No, you have a lot of control. There's a lot of power within you to decide what you want to do with that information, right? And like Heather said,
Exactly.
maybe it's taking a look at yourself. Maybe it's, hey, am I getting out and enjoying life? Am I putting myself out there in ways that make sense to me, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Um Also, a lot of systems reward performance over authenticity.
Yes,
Just in
absolutely.
general, kind of like what we were talking about with like jobs or whatever. Why do you want this job? I love sending emails.
Yeah, and it depends. Like, and some people
Yeah.
really love their jobs, really love data. They really love
Yes.
whatever, right? Some people really enjoy writing emails, but if you don't, right, and if you just need a job, right,
Yeah.
it's about like that performance can be way more important, right? And I know when I worked briefly in retail, it was about getting stuff in people's baskets, getting stuff
Yeah.
in people's
Yeah.
baskets, performance of that, right? And yeah, I can think of lots of times and lots of jobs where it's like, okay, it's about how you appear, how you like, how people, are you causing more stress for the people above you, or are you kind of just doing your own thing and appearing like you have it all together, right? That
Yeah.
performance, right?
Actually, I can use my mom's story here as an example of this when it comes to like a job situation, because this was a part of the conversation that her and I had originally about this topic. And I never knew this until she told me about this just recently. When I was a teenager, well, she had like a regular day job that she went to at an office. And, she would be there from like, 8 until 4 or whatever every day, Monday through Friday. And she wanted to make a little bit of extra money around the holidays. She was looking for a seasonal job. So she was just looking for like some kind of part time retail thing or whatever. So she applied at Crate and Barrel, and she applied for a position working the inventory in the back. So she would not be a front facing person dealing with the public or anything like that. She would just be in the back dealing with inventory. And so she went in for an interview, And the person that was interviewing her asked her, like, it was the question was something along the lines of, how do you get along with the other salespeople? What's your experience with that? It was something along those lines, because she would have to deal with the sales associates who would be the ones actually out on the floor dealing with the public. And at my mom's day job that she worked at, there was a salesperson there that she didn't necessarily get along with very great. And she was honest about that in the interview. She didn't lie, she was honest. And she was honest about her experience with this salesperson at her day job. And she wasn't saying that because she wasn't trying to say that she couldn't get along with people, but she was saying that from a perspective of, hey, this is what's happening. This is how I handle it. She thought that there was going to be value in her honesty of that and how she handles it.
Yeah,
Because
how
it's
you
not,
work with somebody
yeah,
even if you don't really get along. And
exactly. So yeah, that's the message she was trying to convey, because it's not like it was causing issues in her day job, which was the more important job anyways. Um Everything was still fine there. She worked at that same day job all the way up until 2020. So, I mean, it's not like that cost her her job in any way, shape, or form. So anyways, she was honest in the response, and later on, she found out that she did not get that job at Crate and Barrel for the season, and that the reason why was the way that she answered that question. Because she didn't lie and say, "Oh, I have no problems getting along with people. I get along with everybody." Blah blah blah. Because she didn't, make herself out to be like Minnie Mouse or something, basically. They decided not to hire her. And I never knew that she had that experience, but I appreciated her sharing that story with me, because I'm like, wow, like, that's a stupid reason not to be hired, but, okay. She did find a different seasonal job somewhere else, because I do remember the other place that she actually worked at. I just didn't know that she had, done this interview for Crate and Barrel before the other place happened. Um, but that's just an example right there of the hazards of what can happen if you tell the truth.
well, and even if she framed it as like how she deals with it, right?
Yeah.
And then but what if they had called, someone and asked, "Hey, does she get along with everybody?" Right? They may have caught her in a lie then, right? So she did the right,
Yes.
like,
Yes, she
because
did. She
if they
totally
checked
did
her
the right thing.
references, right?
I would
Yeah.
assume so. I don't know. I mean, but yeah, that's why I'm saying, like, it's stupid. It's so stupid, and no one should have to compromise themselves in a situation like that, whether it's for a job or a relationship or whatever else the case may be. Um but yeah, that's a prime example of the system rewarding not being authentic, just performing, just going through the motions.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's kind of like how it feels better in the moment, right? But that honesty, it takes people a long way, right? Like I feel like that
Mhm.
is like, I'd rather someone be honest with me anyway. That's how
Yeah.
I feel, right? It's like, and sometimes like I've done that in an interview where I've talked about a mistake I've made, but then I talk about how I've solved it, right? How I
Yeah.
like, and like that can show strength, right? So I get where your mom was going with that. Like it's like, yeah, yeah, I understand, and that's too bad that she had that experience.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, no, and like, it's so, especially in the job arena, it is so silly and so goofy to me that people want you to go through this whole, like, societal performance thing. It's almost like it's a ritual of embarrassment is almost what it feels like. Because I mean, granted, I'm very thankful that I'm not out there applying at jobs like McDonald's or something like that. But I hear about people having those kinds of issues, even with those kinds of jobs, even with jobs that are like technically low man on the totem pole type of work.
Oh, well, I think there's a lot to be said for people who do those jobs, I think. I think
Yeah.
it's good work, I think it's honest work, and I think it's hard
But
work.
you shouldn't have to go through a humiliation ritual to
It
get it
should
though.
No job should ever. I feel
That's what
like
I'm
no job.
saying. Is
Yeah.
like it's the hiring process from what I've heard that's gotten ridiculous. It's like, it should not take a whole bunch of effort to just get like a job at McDonald's, but now it's like even McDonald's is like, so did you get your 4-year degree at McDonald's University and blah blah blah. Like what? Like what?
Well, and I'm hearing like a lot of people, like, the job market is rough right now for
Mhm.
everybody. So it is, and it is hard. And I've heard that, like, people out there applying to hundreds of jobs. So it's tough. So if you're going through
Yeah.
that right now, my heart goes out to you, because that is a tough position to be in, and it is hard to do the
Yeah.
song and dance all the time, right? It
Yeah,
is.
go through the
Yeah.
humiliation ritual, especially if you are someone who is not good at compromising yourself and putting on the mask and being honest is more your thing. And I feel like that's also a thing that's coming up more and more lately is and especially as women, a lot of women are diagnosed with things like ADHD and autism later in life because we don't have the same characteristics as men do, as little boys do growing up. And granted, I've technically never been diagnosed, so I can't say what I am, but I do know I have a lot of neurospicy tendencies and that I have a hard time masking. So, especially if you are someone who leans on that spectrum, because it is a spectrum, um, it's going to be even more challenging to endure the humiliation rituals of performance for absolutely nothing.
I agree. I think that yeah, I think that it's hard out there sometimes. It is, especially when society expects, one thing, and then and people always say honesty is the best policy, right? But sometimes in those situations, apparently
You
not.
would think no,
Yeah. But yeah.
that's not always the case. I feel like, and I'm not saying honesty is bad because obviously I don't know how to do anything else, but I feel like the lesson here is almost like, oh, this reminds me of that quote. Oh, it was some other creator who said this. I'm trying to remember the exact quote. If you're going to I hear typing. I hear typing on Kelsey's end. Um, yeah, like, oh, what is that quote? My brain is like freezing right now. um, it's something like, if you're going to tell the truth, or if you want, okay, I swear I can get this out. If you want fast success, if you want instant success, then lie to people who want to hear those lies, right? Lie to people who don't want to hear the truth. If you want I don't want to say slow success necessarily. It is kind of like slow success though, but if you want stable success, I feel like is more like what it is. If you want to live comfortably, tell the truth to people who want to hear the truth,
Hmm.
because there is that group of people who want to hear the truth. However, this is where the oil and vinegar meet and don't mix. You will be broke if you're telling the truth to people who want to hear lies.
Hmm.
That's where we trip up.
Yeah. No, it's about your audience.
Yeah.
Really. It's about who you're speaking to and what they're able to handle, and
Yes.
absolutely. And we've had this discussion too about knowing your audience,
Mhm.
and that's also kind of
Just to know who
like
you're talking to. It
yeah.
doesn't even have to be like an audience like content creation.
No, but no,
Um
like, yeah, like us, those of you on YouTube. But it could also be an interview, like an interview panel.
Yeah, a job interview. It could be your partner if you're in a relationship with somebody. Just know who you're talking to. Um, but yeah, that is the most difficult one, is that third one of you will always be broke if you're trying to tell people the truth who want to hear lies. And that is the tricky part, because I feel like there is, just based on spiritual development and that kind of thing, the narrow path is always going to be the harder path, and the smaller path. Those are the truth people. Those are the
Mm,
people who are actively seeking and wanting that truth. But it's that wider path who are the people who are seeking the comfort and the lies, and just tell them whatever it is that they want to hear, kind of a thing. And I mean, you can be successful and you can make money doing that if you're comfortable doing that, but I'm not. I'll never be one of those people feeding the wide path.
mhm.
I'll be one of those people feeding the narrow path, but it's hard to find those people because there's a lot of people out there on that wide path.
Well, I agree. I don't think I could like feel good about myself if I was feeding people things that like aren't true, or are things that I that go against my intuition, right? I agree.
Yeah,
It strikes a nerve within me. My gut kind of goes, ugh, if I feel like, hey, that didn't come out right, or that doesn't feel quite true. It's not in my nature, right? So I'm with you there. It's you want to give people information that will empower and will help them to make the right decisions. Yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
And lead them back to their intuition ultimately. That's kind of what the goal is, right?
Definitely. Um, Well, just looking at the time, it is 4:52 here. So that would be 6:52 on the East Coast. So I think I am going to go ahead and put the link down really quick for live payments, for live readings. If anyone's interested in receiving the truth, and the truth. We do have a couple more points here to cover on our topic, but I do want to put that down in the chat. The link to a live payment for a live reading is also in the description of this live here on YouTube. But they are $20, and for $20, you can get a reading from me and Kelsey here live, here and now on YouTube. So we're going to take those in the order of which they come in the order of which those payments are received. But if you're interested in one, go ahead and head on over to the live payment area of my website, submit your $20, and we'll get you a reading from the two of us. But we're still talking about our topic here before we completely wind it down. Um, so yeah, um, I think one big question here. I'm going to ask you this question, Kelsey. You can tell me what you think. Do you think people in general, when they're seeking clarity, insight, especially when it comes to readings, do you feel that people are buying the truth, or are they buying relief?
Ooh, man, I think that they think they want the truth a lot of the time. I
Yes.
think so. I do. I think that people
Yes.
truly think they want the
Yeah.
truth.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. No, they do.
But oftentimes they are paying for that relief. Often. And sometimes those things can go hand in hand. Like the truth gives you relief.
That's
Or,
true.
but sometimes the truth does not bring relief. It's
No,
you
sometimes
know,
the truth opens a whole other can of worms you didn't even realize was there.
yeah.
It
Or
depends on the
sometimes
situation. Truth can also be liberating. So,
absolutely. Sometimes they're seeking something that feels certain, right? They're
mhm.
seeking, like when you're going through your Saturn return, and like, or you're going
Yeah,
through, maybe you've lost a loved one, maybe all those things, right? Like there's lots of layers to it. And I think we're looking for clarity, we're looking for certainty, we're looking for safety. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's human. But Yeah, like there is a difference between, looking for seeking the truth, right? And then looking for comfort.
Yeah.
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 Ooh, good question.
I know.
Hot seat.
It's loaded.
Yeah.
Do you think people actually want honesty, or do you think that they want instant gratification to just feel better right now?
That's interesting because uh,
It's like a
have you ever had a friend?
microwave fix.
Yeah. Well, have you ever had someone say, "Oh, just tell me this is like, tell me it's good. Tell me it's good," right? Have you ever had that like happen where it's like, or, like people
Actually, I do have an oracle deck
tell me something good.
called Tell Me Something Good. It was not designed to lie to you though.
Exactly.
Actually, it was designed with quite the opposite intention though. Um, this is just kind of a side note segue. Uh, and who knows? Maybe I will pull the deck out just to do a quick collective card pull to give everyone a good
Tell me
message.
something
Cause
good.
yeah, cause it has been a rough, I don't want to say a rough conversation. It's been deep though. This is one of those conversations as people are listening to this podcast that they may have to like listen to it for a little bit and then pause. And then come back and listen a little bit more and digest and reflect and everything because it's a big topic. It's not an easy topic because it's an honest one. It's not, this is not fast food drive through topic today. Um, but tell me something good. I created that deck originally because there are a lot of decks out there that do have some scary cards and scary messages on them, and we are going through a time of massive systemic change right now. There's a
Mm.
lot of upheaval. The transits are all over the place and crazy. And people are seeking that security and comfort. And I figured if I create this deck, I'm going to give people that comfort. It is designed to give you truths in the comfort. It's not going to lie to you in any way, shape, or form, but it is there if you are seeking that comfort. So if your intention when you're pulling from that deck is, I need comfort, I need encouragement, I need to feel supported, that's exactly what you're going to receive.
I love it. I love it. Love your decks. How many do you have now? 12?
There are 12,
Yeah,
yes.
and we're on episode 12 of Tarot Tales, by
That's
the
true,
way.
12, 12. Um,
So,
but
yeah.
yeah, that deck was actually number 10. So
Okay. I love that.
number
I love the number
10.
10. The number
Yeah.
10.
Um, but yeah, I feel like when it comes down to like the instant relief thing, and when it comes to seeking answers and stuff, it's like you have two different options. It's like you can either go to McDonald's or Burger King or In and Out or wherever it is. You can go to any of those places and you can fill that hunger, you can fill that void, but that doesn't mean that what you're eating is all that good for you.
Mhm.
You can get it fast, you can give it in 5 minutes, but yeah, it doesn't mean it's like high quality or anything like that. However, if you decide to take the time to go to like a sit down, nice restaurant, they're going to bring out an appetizer, they're going to bring out the entree, they're going to bring out a salad, a soup, the bread, the dessert, like the whole thing, a full-blown drink menu and everything else. And that's really going to nourish you. That's really going to nourish. And sometimes that's what the truth actually is. It's that
Mhm.
big sit down dinner. It is not a drive through express situation. And I feel like more people are looking for that instant gratification of that drive through service.
Well, yeah, if you want to feel better in the moment, right? Absolutely. It gives you
Yeah.
that groundedness, but sometimes that keeps you stuck in cycles. Sometimes that it makes you stay in places longer than you should. Sometimes
Yeah,
it keeps you hoping for things that might not actually happen, right? So um
exactly.
yeah.
So, why do you think false hope is often more attractive than grounded hope?
False hope more attractive than grounded hope.
Yes.
I think that grounded hope, it sometimes, it comes with that reality of like, okay, it requires like patience, effort, maybe facing something that's not really pretty, or it might be uncomfortable, right? False hope, though, it gives you the feelings that things will work out. Like, it's just okay. I don't know
Yeah.
how, but
It's going to
you might not
work
have to
out
deal.
like it's going to work out exactly the way that you envision it, the way you plan it, how you want
Yeah.
it, when you want it, where you want it.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's not necessarily that people, prefer something untrue on purpose. It might be that false hope removes challenges in their head, right? And
Mm,
or friction, and it gives you relief without requiring input or change or work on that, right? So, it can feel immediate as well, that false hope, which again soothes you and gives you relief,
yeah,
which is
yeah.
human. But like we said, grounded hope feels steadier, but it takes time to settle into that, right? So,
I also feel like grounded hope, it's not, it's a lot more nuanced, that
mhm,
there's a lot more room to create with it. There's a lot less finite definites within it. Like, once again, I'm going to go back to the twin flame thing as an example, but it's a good example. Um, like, let's say you are you're dead set on like your dream, your goal, your dream and your goal. Let's say your dream and your goal is to get married and to have a family, right? But your false hope is getting married and having a family with your twin flame. Someone who could be totally emotionally avoidant. They want nothing to do with you. But because they're your twin flame, like you are dead set determined, like it's going to be him. We're going to have 2.5 kids. We're going to have this specific house. And this is like the life we're going to have, or whatever. Like you have all those details mapped out. But spirit could be looking at you saying, you want that, but yet I don't want to give you like that measly 3-bedroom house. I want to give you this 5-bedroom house and this upgrade of a car. And the only way that's going to happen is if you're with this healthy soulmate instead of your twin flame. And you guys are actually going to have 3 kids instead of 2.
mm,
Like the universe wants to give you more, and you're settling for the scraps of that twin flame. And there's this other reality that's bigger and better than your twin flame, and you don't even realize it because you have all that false hope invested elsewhere. But if you had grounded hope, then this would look like, instead of saying, this doesn't mean you have to dismiss your twin flame either, but does mean you say, my twin flame or something better, because
mm,
that leaves it open. It's not definite, it's not finite. You're leaving it open where it's just like you're not dismissing your original dream. That's still important. That matters because that is a part of the creation process and part of in terms of where you go. But the
mhm,
universe might take that initial dream and might be like, okay, let's take this and let's blow it up like 10 times better than what you were thinking, because I'm going to give you this outcome over here instead. And that can only happen from a grounded place of hope, saying, I care about what I care about, but I'm open. I'm open for whatever you have in store for me because I know whatever it is, it's going to be amazing.
exactly. It's like open yourself to something bigger, right? Like you might think you want one
Yeah.
thing, but the universe might have plans for something else that you aren't even aware of in your wildest dreams, right? And that can be really challenging. It can be challenging to be open and to be vulnerable and to be, willing to branch out and try different things and meet people. And that can be really challenging when you think you want one thing, right? But
Oh, yeah.
it might be even better than you imagined, right? And um, just allowing yourself, allowing the walls to come down and allowing the blinders to come off for that one outcome. I think that's what's important too.
Exactly. And if
Yeah.
that one outcome is meant to happen, there's nothing in the world that can take that away from you. There's nothing in the world that can stop that from happening. You know,
Hmm.
I've had experiences in my own life where it's been that exact outcome and it's been beautiful. And then I've had other experiences in my life where I didn't get that exact outcome, but I did get the upgrade of something better.
Hmm. Oh, exactly, right. Exactly. And it's funny how you don't even know how sometimes things might come to you. It might be in a different package, right? It might be
Yeah,
that, it might be what you wanted, but it might be in a different form or in a different person or right or a different job or whatever.
exactly. But the bottom line is that true heart's desire, it's always going to come. So it's like if you want that marriage and that family, it's going to happen. It may be with a different person than you think it is, but it's going to happen. Or let's say you want to be like let's say you want to do this. Let's say you want to do content creation, right? And there's so many ways you can create content. And let's say you have your heart set on TikTok and you're like it's going to happen on TikTok. And then TikTok is like I hate you.
Which happens, by the
which
way.
which happens. But then let's say you come here to YouTube and you post that same content and it goes viral and it just goes nuts and people love it. Well, then it's a good thing that you gave YouTube a chance.
Exactly, right? You never know. And yeah, it's just like how we tried it. None of you, I don't think anyone watching was part of the
Oh
OGs that
gosh.
on TikTok, but
No.
Heather and I tried to launch on TikTok. That's a whole other episode, I feel.
Yes.
Like
This
it's but
this podcast specifically, we tried to launch Tarot Tales there.
yeah, not so much. It's the
No.
greatest experience.
Because we would both go live at the same time and we were trying to find each other to like do a joint live together, and TikTok never let us find each other.
Yeah, so we couldn't actually join. I think we got it working once. And
Yes.
like it was like a random Saturday where we weren't
Yeah.
actually trying to
No,
film.
we were not trying, but you were live. I saw that you were live and I'm like, well, I'm just going to try and see what happens, just to see what happens. And it worked. And then after that, it didn't work ever again.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. But we made it here and it's been working
Yes.
well, very well.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. So, see, prime example here as to why I just used the whole TikTok, YouTube example.
Mm.
It's like you never know. Um, but yeah, this has definitely been a very interesting topic today,
Very much so.
for sure. Um, but yeah, I think we're going to wind things down on our topic of our sweet lies, the key to success, and why lies sell. Any final thoughts on our topic today, Kelsey?
Um, hmm. Well, I think I just, yeah, like I want to circle back to the idea that it's human. It's human that we want to feel okay. That makes
Yes.
sense. But I do think there's value in noticing, how do I put this? But the difference between what actually supports us and what gives us quick relief, right? I think it's important to know, are we, is this helping or is it just calming me down? Like, so that's a big distinction, right? That's good, a good little check in. And sometimes we have to build the capacity to receive the truth in a way that feels like we can actually receive it, right? So
Yeah.
I'd say, you know what, keep fighting the good fight. It is not an easy world to live in right now. So wherever you
Mm-mm.
are, sending you good energy. Mm.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with that. And I would also have to say, like, if you're someone who is struggling between telling the truth and telling the lie, whether it's personally, professionally, or anything in between, tell the truth. Say the truth. I'm not saying to be mean or rude about it or to destroy people's dreams. Definitely not.
No. But those two cards we talked about at
Yes.
the beginning, it loops back to that. Like, what is that word? Never deceive another to prevent hurt. Always be
Right.
honest. That was one of
Yeah.
those cards.
And there's
And
a
it,
way to do that with integrity and with a caring and honest, open heart where your delivery, it's all about your delivery. Making sure that delivery is tender and that you really see the person in front of you for who they really are to know how to deliver that.
1000%. Like, and what you just said sums up that other card. Words have power, so speak them wisely and from the heart. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. There's a way.
that's
There's a
all
way.
you can do. And even if we are speaking from our heart, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's always going to be received well if somebody else is too wounded to receive that, because that is a possibility. But that shouldn't stop you from saying the truth anyways, because that honesty is always better than a well decorated lie, because a lie always eats its way through. It's going to find its way through somehow, some way. And, especially like on the money side, if you're struggling because you're like, it would be so much easier if I just compromised myself, if I just sold out or whatever. Don't do that. Money is probably going to come a little bit slower. That's true. But when it comes, it's not going anywhere. It's going to be stable. Stable as all hell. And you can build from there, which is the beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully said, Heather. Yeah, beautifully said.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So that is our topic for this week. We're going to get into more about sweet little lies being the key to success, or maybe not being the key to success after all. We're going to get into that a little bit more next week. So hopefully you guys will join us for that. So that is that. And I think we're going to close that on out there for our audio version of the podcast. We'll hang out here though a few more minutes, just kind of leaving the conversation open ended for YouTube. If anybody else would like to jump in, I did put the link to our live readings in the chat. It's in the chat and it's also in the description box. It is $20 for a paid reading between both me and Kelsey. We'll both pull cards. We will both, see what's going on in your situation. We'll both tell you the truth. The truth with love. But yeah, we'll leave that open, the dance floor open a little bit longer for that before we close on out. And I almost forgot to do it, but I'll do it right now. Obviously, it's not going to be for the audio version of the podcast, but that's fine. It's just for you guys here on YouTube then. I'll pull some cards from Tell Me Something Good.
Good idea. Special
And
treat.
tell you something good. All right, let's see. Where are you? Where are you? There you are. So another thing that I love about this deck is every single picture on this deck, every single image is a picture that I have taken myself.
Beautiful.
I am not a photographer by any means, but a little bit of iPhone, a little bit of the Lightroom app, and there you go. All right, so let's see. Our collective that is sitting here right now with us on YouTube.
Heather, Ron says, tell me something good. Smiley face.
All right. Everything's going to be more than okay.
Oh.
Everything's going to be more than okay. Yes, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. So especially if you're sitting here right now and you have something heavily weighing on your heart, maybe you don't know how you're going to cover next month's big bill coming in or something, or you have a health scare, or you're worried about a loved one, or whatever it is that's going on. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay.
Thank you.
Yes.
That was beautiful.
Everything's going to be okay. Anything else we need to know? You exude confidence.
Woohoo.
Yes, confidence. We love that. We are in Aries season now, so 'tis the season for confidence. Aries is very confident.
It is bold,
Yeah, it
assertive.
is. Bold, assertive, confident, impulsive. So yeah, that Aries energy. All right. Anything else we need to know? Let's get one more. Making the right connections.
Oh, that
All
that really
right.
ties in. I heard that's beautiful.
Yeah. Making the right connections. So you are making all the right connections in your life, whether it's in your personal life or your professional life or anything else in between. You are making the right connections. So don't doubt yourself. Don't second guess. Um, it's good. It's going good. So see, I told you this deck has nothing but good stuff to tell you. Good news
Tell me
all the way around.
something good. Yeah.
Exactly.
And sometimes we do
Exactly.
need that. Sometimes we do need that. I like that. I'm just trying to think. I have a little while we're waiting here, maybe I'll pull
Yeah.
a card too. I have these, what are they called? God, power affirmations.
Ooh, I
So
love that.
again, they're designed to empower, right? It's not
Mhm.
about telling you lies. It's about, you know, so what do we need to hear? Just us here in this group. What do we need to hear right now? Whoa, to empower us. And it flew across the room. Okay. Ooh. As I say yes to life, life says yes to me.
Ooh,
And
yeah.
very interesting. And it says, life mirrors my every thought. As I keep my thoughts positive, life brings me to only good experiences.
Yes. Definitely. Say yes to opportunities,
Keep your
connections.
opportunities open.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's pull one more. Well, loving others is easy when I love and accept myself. My heart is open. I allow my love to flow freely. I love myself. I love others, and others love me.
I love that.
I love.
We love the
But it
love
does it.
around here.
Yeah. And then I'll pull one more because you pulled three. We'll do one
Yes.
more.
3 for 3.
I release all criticism. I only give out which I wish to receive in return. My love and acceptance of others is mirrored to me in every moment.
Yes. That's so true. And sometimes the biggest criticism we have to release is our own self-criticism.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that's number one critic is inside our head, right? And sometimes that comes from the way we were raised. Sometimes that's the way our parents spoke to
Yeah.
us. Sometimes their voice can become part of our inner critic, but that's something as adults that we kind of, we have to become our own inner voice and we have that power, right?
Mhm. Exactly. That's so important. Oh man. Yeah. Definitely. Tell me something good. It's a good deck. And it's so funny. Um the way I came up with the title for this deck, in a weird way, at least for the title, and maybe even in a sense, the core idea behind the messages. Um so the title of this deck was weirdly kind of inspired by On Air with Ryan Seacrest.
Oh, that
Because
takes me back.
yeah, well, I mean, he still does his show and everything. Um,
He does, but I only
yeah,
listened to it like in high school and junior high. I remember listening to Ryan Seacrest.
yeah. Well, he does the morning show in LA. So, I mean, I would listen
Mm.
to that all the time when I was living in LA. And he used to have this segment in the mornings, and it was called "Tell Me Something Good." Because they would have people call in for all kinds of different things for all kinds of different reasons throughout the show, right? Like they would do Ryan's Roses, which is the whole thing where it's like you call to they call them pretending to be a flower shop or whatever, offering free roses to see if like their spouse was cheating or something like that. Like they would have that segment. They used to have a segment called My Analysis where callers would call in and like basically ask for advice on whatever it was that they were going through. But with the Tell Me Something Good segment, it was exactly what it sounds like. And they had people call in to just basically share good news, share something positive, share
Oh,
something happy that was going on in their lives. And when I was thinking about the messages behind this deck, I was like, that's the kind of energy I want this to embody. It's like, I want this to be the energy of like, this is supposed to tell you what's going right in your life, not what's going wrong. This is like the happy stuff that you need to hear.
I like
So,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
I love that that's the inspiration. Ryan Seacrest show
I
and
know.
the play
It's
on
like,
words.
exactly. Cause I
That's
was like,
adorable.
I was trying to think of like different titles. There was another title that I was playing around with. I can't remember what it was now because it was so long ago when I first started creating this deck. But there was another title that was like in the running. I had a conversation with Chat GPT that helped me narrow it down to tell me something good. So,
Yeah. Wow. No, it's good. I think, and I like that it's all your own images. I think that your energy's
mhm.
kind of infused into it. It's beautiful. And I
Yeah,
think we do need some affirmation decks. Like I think that that's also
totally.
important too. Is
Yes.
to have like I have my fairy deck. It is the prettiest thing. I just love my fairy deck, right? And it's not nothing really negative comes out of it, and that's nice, right? But um, I we've talked about this, but my favorite deck when I have to read is the Akashic Tarot. So when I'm ready to hear the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, I'll
There
get
you
this guy
go.
out. Yeah.
I feel like in terms of truth decks, I feel like my deck in my feels is pretty honest because it's literally like
Oh yeah.
reading the emotion of whatever's going on, and not every emotion in that deck is a happy emotion.
No. No.
So
There's some interesting ones for sure.
oh, yes. I mean, you got everything. You got everything happening in that deck. Everything from happy to greedy to dirty to I mean, there's everything.
The dirty one gets me. I'm like, ooh.
I
Like
know.
whenever I look at it, the energy's icky. Like you really got that the energy of that. Like
Just a dirty foot. There it is, a dirty foot sitting there like, ew, this is
that's
gross.
what the imagery is.
It really
Yeah.
is. It's so nasty. But on the flip side, I love the refreshed card. You know, the girl
Yes, me
standing there in the
too.
shower and she's cleansing it all off of her.
Exactly. No, there's
So,
some really beautiful cards in that deck, but Ron says he has to have cataract surgery, so he's happy that there's some good stuff going on. And he says, yes, you can't love unless you love yourself, and it can be very hard to do that, right? It
yeah, that's
absolutely can.
true. That
It
that
can
is
be
really
hard to.
hard. I feel
Mhm.
like I feel like in a weird way, that's why that's why people struggle with like religion in some ways because like the Bible tells you love your neighbors like you love yourself. But if you don't love
Mhm.
yourself, because the Bible also will tell you that you're lowly and you're nothing without God, then how do you love that neighbor?
Yeah.
That's kind of a
Something to
conundrum.
think about for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think when it comes to any kind of like organized, yeah, absolutely. Like, I think there are, things that people struggle with
Mhm.
religion for sure
Yeah.
across the
Yeah.
board. Mhm.
Jesus,
Yeah.
I love Jesus. I'm just not a fan of organized religion.
Oh, I love the teachings of Jesus Christ. And I really have always identified, and you and I've talked about our
Oh yeah.
connection, right?
Yeah.
And maybe that's another episode too, right? It's like,
Yes.
talking about like, cause like, yeah, there is a special connection there. And that transcends any kind of organization or anything, right? It's that connection that you feel. So
Yeah.
I agree.
I posted pulling some cards from my Jesus deck on Easter. So
I remember you mentioned that.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Which is Doreen Virtue. And I know Kelsey has some big issues with Doreen Virtue.
I'm just super interested in her. I'm super interested in the psychology of what happened. Like, I'm like,
Yeah.
holy smokes. Like,
Yeah.
it's
It
just,
is
I find it
weird. It
fascinating.
is. It's weird.
I find it fascinating. I'm like, wow, what happened? Like, I want to understand. It's not even like that have issues with her. I want to understand. Like, I'm like, holy
Yeah.
smokies. Like it's to swing from one way to another, right? But what I do like that we have in common is we identify with Jesus. Like
Yeah, yeah.
that's kind of what
That's
I can take up from that.
beautiful. Yeah. It is very mind-blowing. I don't even know if she would even like her Jesus deck these days. So
No, I don't think so. She's denounced all of them. So that's why like I think that's why I struggle because I it's hard for me to use something that the creator has like denounced, right? And it's just sad to me because they're such
it
beautiful
is.
decks.
It is.
Like
It's
they are.
and
But if you have
there's
a connection, use it.
so many positive messages there too. I mean, especially the Jesus deck. I mean, the Jesus deck, it's literally it's not even stuff that she would have channeled. It's Bible verses. You're just
Yeah.
pulling out Bible verses and then of course it's up to you as you're pulling that to interpret that and like how that's applying to your life in the moment. Um you know what? Actually, I can't believe I'm going to do
I'm
this.
curious about how they're
I'm gonna
when
pull
they're
Jesus
printed.
card. Hold on, this is gonna take a minute. I gotta dig out this thing in my. I
I'm
got.
curious about when it was printed. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I should check that.
Yeah, because
All
like if it
right.
was before,
Oh wait, no, this is on
yeah.
the other side. I had this issue last time too. I was like, where is it? And I was like looking in the wrong drawer. That's fine. Here it is. Here it is. Okay. Loving words from Jesus. So this is the infamous deck we're talking about here. Let me see. When was this printed? Does it say on the box, or I might have to look at the book? Let's see.
Maybe
Yeah,
the
because
inside booklet.
yeah, probably the inside booklet. Because
Yeah, I'm curious.
I only have. Oh wait, no, there is no booklet.
Oh,
There's just the cards. Let's see.
interesting.
Maybe it says on here. Oh, here we go. 2016. So
So
it's 10 years old.
2017 is yeah, 2017 is when she kind of left the new age.
Okay.
So it was right. So she must have been learning more about, Christianity, and she must have been delving more into that work. And then she actually denounced it. So she left in 2017, from what I know.
Wow.
So yeah, so you got like one of her last works in the
Yeah.
new
Yeah.
age.
And honestly, like this deck, I mean, it's quite
It's
loved. Like,
beautiful.
yeah, it's got like the
Oh yeah,
golden.
it's beautiful.
Yeah. Because I have this one and I have Romance Angels, which I feel like everyone has Romance Angels. Everyone knows about Romance Angels. So those are the two that I have. Those are the only two of hers, but I mean, I love loving words from Jesus. So yeah, let's get a Bible verse.
Let's pull one.
Let's get a Bible verse here. So, because Jesus we love. Organized religion, not so much, but Jesus himself, amazing person. There we go. Okay, we have John 14:27. Peace I leave with you. My peace I give unto you. Here's the
Okay.
card
Beautiful.
with
Oh,
the
that's
ring
stunning.
light
With the
reflecting
ring
there as
light.
well. But
Looks
it
like you've
looks
got a
like
halo around
I
them.
know. I'm like, it looks like a little halo. So yeah, that's beautiful though. That's true. It's like we are meant to live a life of peace. We're not meant here to
Mhm.
just like strive and suffer and all this other stuff. Like that's That's not what Jesus intended for any of us. So,
I love that. That's beautiful. Thanks for sharing that. And I think it's nice
yeah,
that you have a connection. You have a connection to that deck. And like,
I
yeah,
do.
if you connect with it, keep using it. Absolutely. It's
Exactly.
beautiful.
This was one of my first
Uh,
oracle decks, so I know after this call, you guys, Kelsey and I are going to do a deck swap. We're going to do a deck show
yes.
and tell, but this one I am not parting with.
No, I have a
So,
few that I have set aside for you. So
woohoo, fun. Actually, I found another one of mine that I can give you. Like I have an extra of Fallen for You, and I apparently have an extra of Written in the Stars as well.
an honor. Oh my
So you get to get
goodness.
both of those for free.
That's so exciting. Yeah, we'll do a little
Yeah.
swappy swap.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
and Shadow's going to make his presence known as well. What are you barking at? Yeah. He must see something out there. He's on the couch, so I'm assuming there's someone through the window that he's looking at and he's like, "Hey, hey you, how dare you be outside?"
How dare you cross my path of my window that I can see out of.
Exactly. It's like, "Can't you tell my mom is doing a YouTube live and podcast right now. You can't be here."
Ron says squirrel. There's a squirrel.
It could be, but more likely it's a person because we don't I mean we get squirrels outside, but not like within viewing range of
In
our
the window
window.
view.
Yeah. But if there's someone walking by, he will definitely say something about that.
I have a big old tree in my front yard you've seen, and there's always squirrels. Always. And they're so fluffy and cute. And then blue jays will fly. And I'm not a huge fan of birds, but I do like looking at them from afar.
Oh, speaking of like animals and posting them on like YouTube and stuff, I need to have a moment for a tangent on stupid people. So so yesterday I posted this old video. It was like in my drafts from like literally last summer of a hike that I did with Shadow and Tinkerbell. And it was literally a 16-second short. And all it was chipmunks because the hike that we went on, there was like tons of chipmunks everywhere. So it was just a video, like a cute little video of chipmunks running around and playing and eating and everything. And like right after I posted it, some random stranger went and disliked it. And here's
I
here's
mean,
here's my beef. Here's why I have a problem with this. Number one,
chipmunks eating, they were mad.
exactly, like chipmunks. Are you serious? So here's the thing. I've seen this happen not just with chipmunks, but even like it could be a cute little video of just Shadow and Tinkerbell. Someone comes along, dislike. And like it blows my mind because it's like I wouldn't mind if you went and you disliked a video that was like just me and I was sharing my opinion or whatever and you didn't like what I had to say. That's fine. Go crazy, go nuts. But who goes around disliking cute little animal videos? What kind of like warped mental problems do you have where you're like, I'm going to dislike the cute animals?
Well, yeah, like, and yeah, I don't know. Like that it takes all kinds to make the world go round, as my grandma would say. Like what? Yeah, I don't know. Like that's interesting. Yeah. Like just cute little chipmunks eating and having fun and frolicking.
Yeah,
Like
exactly. 16-second video. I'm like, it's not even that long. It's just cute little
this is
animals.
offensive.
I'm like, what is wrong with you? This is not
To take the
controversial.
energy to like dislike it, that energy it took. Just You could have just scrolled.
Exactly. And I'm like, I don't understand that. Like, it's just like, okay, I see a lot of cute animal videos as well on my feeds everywhere because I like animals. I don't like every single video, but I definitely don't go, oh, oh, ew, gross. Get that animal out of here. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
something
get
else.
it. I'm like, there has to be something unhealthy about you if you're like, oh, I have the only the only kind of animal video that I would dislike is if somebody was like abusing an animal on video.
Yeah, of
That
course,
of
yeah.
course gets disliked. But just, some cute little animal video, no, if you're doing that, you got some kind of like emotionally unstable, unhealthy mental problem going on.
Well, yeah, like people are interesting, right? It's man, again, the psychology of the likes versus dislikes and the comments people
I
leave.
know.
But that's a whole other episode, right? Of like
Yes.
talking about the comments we've received. Like,
It's
yeah,
just, like, because I'm just thinking in my mind, I'm like, dislike me, fine. But but cute little chipmunks, like that's like a special kind of evil. So I don't
I
know.
think yeah, that's like that's sad. That's sad. Just enjoy. They're not harming you.
Yes,
They're
I
just
know.
being cute.
I was just reading what Ron was saying. I'm like, yes, I don't understand it either. It's weird to take the time to dislike it.
Yeah,
Doesn't,
it's
yeah.
bizarre. Oh, trust me, like when you do content creation, the stuff people leave on your videos, it's just like, why take the energy to do this rather than just.
I
And
know.
the thing is, when you engage, you bring more of that kind of content to
Yes,
you. So,
it makes no
yeah.
sense. And some of the things don't make any sense. Like, what was it? I think it was a video that you posted on TikTok. Didn't someone like leave a big eye or something? There was like a
Something like
comment where
that.
someone left like a weird eye. Like it
There was
didn't
like
make.
was it on your Laboop? And remember that one on your Laboop, like your Care Bear unboxing?
Maybe that
Do
was
you remember
it.
that
But
one? And
it was
then
like
that
a
person was like,
reply
"I'm
to
watching you,"
you.
because I was like, "That's so cute. I'll have to look for them in Canada." And they left like this, like very freaky looking eye. And then I messaged you right away. I was like, "Did you see this?" But they had an
Yeah.
account dedicated to Care Bears and stuff. I guess. Like, I don't know. It's
It's
interesting.
yeah, it's a very, very strange. And again, Care Bears, cute. So
Why are
I
you
don't
watching
know.
me?
Cute things are a target for weird crap. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't
I
know.
don't know.
That was some. Oh, but yeah, that's something, right?
There's always a weird oddity going on.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think we're gonna close out here and call it a night. It's been an interesting wrap up, that's for sure. I feel like the after show always goes rogue.
Oh, well, there's no like we don't sit down and figure out what we're gonna chat about. Even when we normally talk, we don't
No,
script. We
no,
just have an idea of what we want to talk about.
exactly. Thankfully,
Mhm.
we're pretty good
So
at riffing off. So
yeah, but the after show, you guys get a treat.
yes, like last
Thanks for
week it
sticking
was
around, Ron.
last week we talked too much about poop. It was a poopy show.
Yeah, yeah, we did. We
Hmm.
at length.
Yep.
Yeah,
No structure. That's true. No structure indeed. All right.
yeah.
Well, anyways, we're going to wrap things up here for this week. We will be back, of course, next week. We're going to get more into our topic about sweet little lies and if they work, if they don't work, who knows where we're going to go next, but it's going to be fun. We got some fun stuff planned. So, and once again, if you're in Colorado Springs, this weekend, come out and see me at the Body, Mind, Spirit celebration. It's going to be a lot of fun. So we'll see you guys next
All
week.
right.
Bye,
You.
guys.
Bye.